it's really important for us to be engaged in kind of that East Dallas community.
So the reason why I brought you in is because just want to talk about the club that you guys have founded. What are you guys looking forward to? I know that it's supposed to be an expansion club starting in, is it 26 or 27?
27.
So just talk about how the process has been with creating the team.
Yeah, I'd say tons of work, but lots of fun. We have a long way to go. We don't start till 2027. So right now we're still just building our identity, getting all the kind of groundwork laid out to really launch. We launch our official brand and name and crest and colors in early May.
Okay.
So that's a big day for us. So everything's kind of pointing to that. We're starting to talk to sponsors, and we're working out stadium deals and team headquarter facilities. We're working on it. Youth club partnership. There's a lot going on.
So I wanted to get into what goes into that process of picking the crest, picking the name. That's what all the fans want to know.
Yeah, of course. The name, really, I picked it. So we'll knock on wood, see what the reception is for that.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to release it. We hired a local marketing firm that's done some work with Austin FC. They actually did Dallas Trinity's logo. They've been fantastic. So they've created a crest for us. We had a bunch of options, but the one we picked, everyone jumped out. It jumped out at everyone, and I'm excited to kind of launch it to the public.
So when you guys announced that you were creating this expansion team, I know in the press release it stated that you guys were going into the USL Championship, which is a level two tier division, and they just announced that there's going to be a level 1. And so does that? I know you just went to team meetings. Does that affect where you guys are going to go, or?
It does. Yeah. The first division hadn't been announced when we did this. I've always thought that eventually that would be a reality. I didn't expect it to be this soon. Mm-hmm. So we were slated to be in the championship, which is Division 2 in the United States, but the top division in USL. We are talking about, do we go into the first division? We haven't made a decision. There's still a lot of information we need to gather, but it's definitely on our radar and something we would eventually aspire to be.
From your perspective, whether you choose to go into Division 2 at the start or Division 1, what does the differences look like from the co-founder owner standpoint? Is there a higher fee to get in, or I know expansion teams is different for different leagues?
Yeah, a lot of that still needs to be worked out. I mean, you obviously have to assume player salaries are going to be higher in Division 1. The stadium requirements per U.S. Soccer are higher than we had initially anticipated. So there'll definitely be additional costs.
And then with the prospect of this first league, I know it's really the first example of, in American sports, a promotion relegation system potential. What are your thoughts on that? And because, I mean, MLS is a league in and of itself, and they don't have a promotion or anything like that, but in the USL, that would be, the framework of that would be there.
Of course. I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest. It's not voted on yet within the USL structure, but they'll have the ecosystem to do it. And the U.S. soccer needs to have that. I think it's anti-soccer to not have promotion relegation, where every other league in the world except for ours has it. But we've been dealing with a closed system at the highest level for a long time. So this is exciting. I commend the USL leadership for their boldness, their vision to allow potential for promotion relegation to take flight.
How do you think that American sports fans, because that's not something they're used to, how do you think that they would react to such a system?
I think it would be great storylines. I mean, the possibility of a team like Texoma, for an example, Texoma FC is going to be a new League One team launching in 2 weeks. They're in League One. The concept that they could win League One, join the championship, win the championship, and then go up to the top divisions, an incredible story. And they're in a small town and a small stadium, and those are storylines that I think all Americans, whether you're a soccer fan or not, you'd embrace that. It'd be an amazing story. So just to have the opportunity of that, I think is really important. And it would definitely broaden the viewership of soccer and the interest in it.
And then can you just talk about what that prospect with the World Cup coming next year. A lot of people have said that the World Cup in '94 kind of spawned Major League Soccer. What kind of an impact do you think the World Cup this time around, with that first league potential coming around the same, or technically after it, how that impact would go into that?
I mean, I think it's going to just take soccer to another level. I mean, the demographic in the country's been changing slowly to a more soccer-based fan. And that in and of itself is going to improve, I think, the visibility of the sport. But I think the World Cup will take it to another level where the casual fan hopefully can see the pageantry and the romance of the game and maybe start adopting it as one of the sports that they start following more passionately.
And then I know, because here in Dallas, we just started the Trinity. They're in a Division I league on the women's side. It gives more opportunities for players, and I know they've put a very high emphasis on trying to sign players that are local to North Texas. Is that a vision for you and your team as well?
Yeah, without question. I mean, we're in the process of figuring out our youth strategy, and we'd like to create another path to pro other than FC Dallas. And so we would love to have a Dallas contingency. And there's tons of good players here. I mean, this is arguably one of the best, if not the best, youth soccer markets in the country. So the fact that we have another option for these players is exciting, I think.
And then, the team hasn't been started yet. Obviously, like you said, they start in 2027. Where would you like to see this club in 5, 10, 15, 20 years?
I would like to see us in the first division, first of all. And more importantly, I'd like to have a really great community fan base. It's really important for us to be engaged in kind of that East Dallas community, which I think has a great soccer culture, and the demographics are very diverse and fantastic for our team. And to have a big supporter group behind us that's unified and we're all kind of pulling in the same direction is really important, something I'm really excited to see.
What was it about Garland that attracted you?
Well, to me, Dallas has grown north primarily, and I grew up in Arlington. Garland has a similar feel to me. It feels like home. It's a great community. It's been wonderful people. They have great leadership, and they share the same vision with us, which is important. It's important that whatever city we're in, the leaders share our vision. We have really big ambitions and are hopeful that we can bring something to the soccer community and the community at large that they haven't really seen in Dallas in terms of the fervor and the passion in the stadium. And it's really important for us to try to deliver that. So we shared leadership vision, which is really important.
And then in terms of vision, you were very complimentary when we were talking about Austin FC and how they started their atmosphere and their culture. What is something that you can take from that experience that you've noticed to apply it to the club that you've started?
Yeah, that's Austin FC has been a wild success. I think they just engage the community and the soccer community at large, but really the entire community in Austin. And Dallas is much bigger. I mean, there's 8 million people in the whole Metroplex. We will engage the entire community, but we are really focusing on Central Dallas, East Dallas, and it's important to us. And we want to have that community engagement similar to how Austin does. And kind of, we joke in the office, it's hand-to-hand combat. We're out in the street, we're meeting people, we're going to schools, we're meeting the community. We're just trying to be very present.
And then what role, if any, do you foresee or have with the World Cup coming, in terms of community engagement and like welcoming people here? There's going to be people from all over the world coming to DFW. So what do you see the club's role in that aspect being?
Well, we anticipate having a big role in that. We haven't defined it yet because we are so new. We have 7 employees, so we're in the process of growing that and needing to define that role. And we've had internal conversations. We know we're going to be very active. Unfortunately, our facility will not be ready by then, but we're going to do as much as we can to be front and center.
And then how are what is the update with the facilities? Like, what could we expect there?
We will have a soccer stadium centered development with commercial development around it, restaurant, retail. We are still in design phases, so it's still really early. We're working through that right now, but we will have what I believe to be a first-class training facility and a fantastic stadium once we're all said and done, but it's still too early. We'll release renderings maybe late summer.
Okay, and then how does that play into, starting, like, where are you going to start the club, either in Division I or Division II?
It's really important. I mean, the U.S. Pro standards are a 15,000 seat stadium. We just candidly, we weren't planning to build that big of a stadium initially. We were hoping to grow into it. It's important to us that our stadium is full or feels mostly full off the bat. So we have to work through that. We're working through that now. Do we need to ramp up marketing to try to drive more fans? Maybe we'll have enough community engagement where we can fill that right off the bat. But that's one of the fears of mine because it's an unknown.